What up, it's Leedz? Live from the car today. Very special last-minute interview with R.A. the Rugged Man. Should be a good one. He's lucky to have him fit us in last minute. Oh, what a day. What a day. This day has been a day. Hold on here. See if I can get him invited here. I don't know if I can. Well, hopefully he shows up. Oh, I think we got him right here. See if we can get him to join. There we go. Check one. Yo, yo. You hear me? Uh-oh.
Me?
Got a little spotty collection here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I can now.
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yep.
Great. Thank you.
How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you for making time.
Oh, no problem. How you been?
Good. It's been challenging under these circumstances being a rap promoter, I'll tell you.
Yeah. You had the worst job possible to be a fucking show promoter during the whole, restrictions. Yep.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's still equally as crazy right now too, because you got vaccines, people still getting COVID, you got people not wanting to take the vaccines and not going, and it's a mess. It's a mess, man.
Yeah, but I don't understand any of that, like I don't know. I just don't understand anybody. I think it's all politicized and everybody's fucking retarded, It's like crazy right now. Like both sides are just over exaggerating and blowing everything. It's like crazy. I just can't deal with any of it, if I'm invited, I show up, so.
Yeah. So I'd just like to welcome everybody to the Leedz Edutainment Podcast. We got a very special guest, R.A. the Rugged Man. We've been working together for years. I probably have booked you in Boston more than probably anybody, to be honest.
Yeah, and honestly, Leedz is always, every time you do a show with Leedz, it's going to be good, good people. It's always going to be people in the house. The people always know you're in town when Leedz is booking. Sometimes you do shows with promoters, they have no idea that you're even coming, So Leedz is always the guy that to work with. Yeah.
Well, thank you, man.
I'm just opening a toy for my daughter while we're doing this, so I'm sorry.
No worries.
You hear the rumbling around.
Well, that's what makes these things so good, is you get to see what everyone's life is.
Yeah. So I don't know. In Boston, are they doing hey, if you cry, I'm going to take your toys and you're not going to have them. You hear me? What are you doing crying for? You got all these toys. Sorry.
It's all good. I mean, I think we all wanted to see R.A. the Rugged Man, the parent. That's something I didn't expect when we first started doing shows.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yep. That dad life.
You weren't really rapping about that or talking about that.
Yeah, I'm almost done. My daughter's thing is almost open, and then I'll stop making all this noise.
It's all
good. Good. No crying. That's good. No crying. Hey, I've got to do an interview, guys. Hey, you're not behaving? Do you want your toys or not? To get your toy. They're being crazy right now. It's like, what's funny? They took a nap right before the interview, and I was like, oh, great. And then they woke up right when it started. Like, where's my toys? Yeah.
That's good, man. Well.
Yeah. So now he's got toys for me to open. Guys, come on. You know what? Let me put on the TV for you guys for 5 minutes. I'm gonna put on the TV for them, and then we're gonna open your toys. All right? So, because I'm not paying attention. Yeah, interview me while I'm opening the toys. So,
That's great.
you talk to me. Ask me some questions.
All right,
And
I'm gonna ask you about Long Island. Growing up in Long Island, around some
yeah,
amazing CMCs. I mean, what's
yeah,
that
the
like?
best in the world. Nobody was better than us for some time. We were the best in the world. There was nobody. We had all the greats came. At one time, it was like EPMD, Rakim, Public Enemy, De La Soul. It was like the untouchables, you know. Nobody could mess with that. The Bomb Squad, like there was nobody better than Long Island for some time. And now we don't have that many anymore. You know, we have me, Rock Marciano, Aesop Rock is still going pretty hard. Uh, you know, there's a handful of us, but you know, we're not as influential as we were. You know, Biz Markie back in the day too was out there. You know, so Busta Rhymes. You know.
Yeah, man. I mean, is
Yeah.
that like make you want to rap, or was it before that? Like,
Yeah. No. No. I saw. You know, all the greats. John, watch TV. We'll open this after. All right. I got to do my interview. Okay. Yeah. All the greats. I see them all doing. Turn that down a little bit.
yeah, so
I think your mother.
we're picking up
Turn
a
it
little
down a little
background.
bit. Did your mom just get on? Turn it down a little bit, please, guys. Yeah, this isn't working today, man.
It's okay.
That's
We're
why I
better
said I
than.
don't know when I'm going to get it done for you. Ella, turn the TV down a little bit for Daddy while he does his interview. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Somebody said his name. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah, somebody
This is.
said Bollock. Somebody said Diabolic. Yeah, Diabolic was used to, when he was younger, come up to Cap's store and asked if he could rhyme for me. He told me that. And I remember that after he told me. And Diabolic turned into a really, really complex, dope lyricist, you know. I think he doesn't get a lot of acclaim, you know.
So did you get signed on your first deal, like just from the strength of being from Long Island and being dope? I mean, was the Long Island played a
Nah,
big factor?
nah, nah, you didn't get signed from being from Long Island, you know. Oh yeah, Prince Paul was in Stetsasonic, he
Yeah.
was Long Island, you know. But no, I was just better than everybody. You know, I got better than everybody. There was something in the water in Long Island. We were just better than everybody. So
Yeah.
when I go to studios and labels, rappers would just go crazy. Like, holy shit! You know, I'd just start rapping for everybody, and I had a boom box with my demo tape, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" You know. So,
Yeah.
shout out to the Gathering. I'll be at the Gathering on the 20th. And New Hampshire, that's what this call is all about. Leeds is a promoter. We'll be in New Hampshire on this Thursday,
Yeah.
day after
Is
tomorrow. I'm in Germany right now. I'm flying to New York tomorrow. Then the day after that, I'm flying to New Hampshire.
so the label you signed to, the one that you hated. What was the name of that label?
I hate all of them. I was on Jive Records, and then from Jive, years later, I went to Priority, and then from Priority, Capitol bought it out. So I did the three. What you spilling the? What is that? An eyeball? What are you eating? An eyeball? What are you eating? An eyeball? No. Yeah, he bought some gummy eyeballs right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. So.
So why did they all suck? I guess that's the question. Why did they all suck dick?
Well, look. You know what's funny is they were all the same, and now you see everybody. De La Soul just fought for their masters to get back because they were Tommy Boy, and it was just before the internet. You turn it down a little, Ella. You relied on the label. You needed the label because there was no way to get your music out there. So they had a lot more power and rules. Some of the Eminem bit your style and you let it slide. That never used to happen back in the day. What never used to happen? Let it slide? Like, what do you mean, let it slide? It's 20-something years later. I'm still here. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, you are. So the transition into Nature Sounds, the situation you've been with that label for a few, that label must have been doing something right for you.
These comments, yo, Eminem dick riders are so corny. Like, they just stay on your dick, all day. They've never heard anybody. They think that's like the beginning of fucking music. Shout out to Locksmith in the comments. He said sign a death row. No, well, with Nature Sounds is, the problem with Nature Sounds is promotion. It's not a you're not your records are always totally underappreciated because there's not tons of money to be thrown around on that label. It's just Devin and Matt really, and then myself. So it's a lot of word of mouth, and so it's a lot tougher that way sometimes. But on the flip side, is you're not in a machine where you have to follow rules. You can do whatever the fuck you want. No timetables. Whatever you want, you could do, and whatever kind of music you want to make, whatever beat you want to make, whatever topic. It's 100% your choice. And they support anything I do, because I make them money and they make me money and they support everything I do, So it's pretty cool. It's just a little, we don't have the push and the machine behind us, So there's a lot of whacker rappers who will listen to my album, bite off of it, and then be critically acclaimed. Like, oh yeah, like Ari didn't do that fucking 20 fucking years ago. Ari didn't do that 25 years ago. Ari didn't do that 30 years ago. It is what it is, though. That's the game, You gotta just what the fuck happened? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm cutting out my son's action figures.
It's all good.
Yeah,
So these three albums you put out on Nature Sounds are all classics.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been working with Leedz that my dad used to come to his shows. He booked me with. My father was alive and would come to the shows that I do at Leedz. He came to a couple
That was a funny
Leedz
story.
shows.
That was a great story. I'm glad I got to meet him because I remember, I think it might have been one of his first shows going to, because when you got on stage, he was like nervous. He was like on the side. He didn't want to go all the way up front. And you were like, Dad, get up here, get up here. He was like, nah, go to the
Nah,
front.
I don't think he was nervous. I think he was just like, my dad's just kind of like a cool, calm, play the back type of guy. He don't want attention on him. He's kind of more like mellowed out, and he might be high, a little smoke, a little weed or something, and then be like, Dad, come act crazy with me. Dad, son, do your job. I'm here, like it was more like that. I believe, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's how I know my father more like,
Yeah, he was real cool. I mean, he came up to us after the show and thanked me and was like, yo, it was a great show, great turnout. He was really
That's
cool about it.
funny. Yeah. I think I was pushing up on a girl and he was pushing me to the stage, like, hey, come on, son, go to the stage. What are you doing?
Yeah. That verse that the Valor verse is inspired by him, right?
Yeah, well, that's written as him, and that's I'm rapping from his perspective, So and he was alive when that came out, so he used to drive around the car playing his own story. Call me Thorburn John. He loved it. He was a big fan of it. Yep. So if
That's
you hear all the
probably,
noise, this is me trying to get this thing out of. Yeah. Oh, what were you saying?
I was just saying that's probably one of my favorite verses that you've done. That shit is just so ill.
Yeah, a lot of people love Uncommon Valor. I think it dropped at the right time, right platform, and got heard by the right people, and it made some nice noise. And a lot of people, oh, their mommy just got home, I think, so maybe it'd be a little bit more peace for the interview. Hey, Mama, I'm doing an interview right now, and the kids are driving me a little crazy. Yeah, so we might be all right.
All right.
So,
So your father, is he the inspiration on this new album's title, All My Heroes Are Dead?
he was the inspiration for Legends Never Die, like,
Ah,
and All My Heroes Are Dead it just became more. Everybody was passing, Sean P, like all of our heroes, all of our greats, all of our friends, and also the culture. Um, all the people that I knew. Oh, they keep texting me. All the people I knew. Hey, can I run upstairs for 5 minutes to finish this interview? I'm gonna run upstairs, man.
cool. It's all good.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah,
rolling
yeah.
with it. We're rolling with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why you were trying to lock me down for an interview, and I was like, "Yo, it's crazy. I'm trying to figure
Totally
out a
understand,
time, a
man.
place, and I almost got lucky because here we go. Yeah, I almost got lucky because the kids fell asleep right before your interview, but then they woke right up. It was crazy. Yeah. What was the question again?
Talk about All My Heroes Are Dead. Inspiration behind that.
Yeah, so many legends had passed, and it's like, and it's not just the legends passed. It was like the era that we came from, where like lyricism was the most appreciated, and you had to have originality, and now it's like, who cares about skill? It's like this new thing, like skill's overrated. It's like,
Right.
and it just was like we came from that world of competitive music and competitive stages, and I feel like that's a dead culture to the rest of the world, but not to my world, not to the hip hop, the world of hip hop. So, I was trying to make a hip hop album, scratches, the world's greatest DJs, the world's greatest rappers, production, the world's greatest mix engineers. I was really trying to make a great, yeah, a great
You did, you
hip
made
hop
in
album.
my opinion, you made the best album in 2020,
Thank you,
hands down.
thank you. We put a lot of work and time into it to make that. Yeah, yeah.
That is the total package of what you want in a hip hop album.
Somebody somebody just said Beastie Boys get the credit for first white rappers, not Eminem. Actually, if you really want to go there, the first white rapper is Blondie, Debbie Harry, on vinyl at least, And
Yeah.
then if you want to go there, the second one is Falco, Rock Me Amadeus. He was rapping on that motherfucker. So Beastie Boys, I think, came out with their album, what, 85, 86, 86, or something like that.
Why is everybody just like to throw you in this white rapper category? Like, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
what's funny? It's
can we
it's
not
like
talk
most
about hip
people.
hop?
Yeah, but what's funny was before the internet, most people thought I was black because I have a deep bassy voice, and like after
Yeah,
the
yeah,
internet came out, like all my black fans were like, "Wait, Ari the Rugged Man's a white guy?"
yeah.
Like nobody knew for like a decade and a half, like nobody knew. So yeah, so now they try to you know pile me in that white pile, but think I'm a little better than a white rapper.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why
A
is
little
always
bit.
you must have been dealing with that your whole career.
Yeah, well,
The
what's
Eminem
fun.
thing. I mean, geez, all the people
Well,
saying it's Eminem.
Eminem was years after me. Like
I know.
anybody with knowledge knows that he was
Yeah.
M was listening to me before I knew what the fucking Eminem was. So yeah,
Right.
Eminem, yeah. And then it's funny when I do something I did early in my career, they'd be like, Ari's trying to do Eminem. It's like, no, no, that's crustified dibs language right there. you know, I don't know, but that's what it is. Johnny come latelys, people that are new to the game. If you spit something inspired by Kool G Rap, they'd be like, "That's Big Pun." It's like, no, that's Kool G Rap. It's just they don't know the history, so they have no nothing to compare to.
I mean, what's your thought? I
So
mean, you obviously you always mention Kool G Rap being the greatest, right? Like the
I think he's the
pioneer.
greatest lyricist. I think he's the
Yeah.
greatest lyricist in the history of music. Like,
Right.
and better than John Lennon, better than Bob Dylan, better than all those fucking rock and roll guys. I think Kool G Rap's the greatest lyricist in the history of music, you know? I think hip hop lyricism is like fucking light years ahead of all other music, you know? So if you're the best lyricist in hip hop, I think you're the best lyricist in music, period, you know? Like when I listen to some of these, like, oh, these really complex pictures painted by these rock legends, I'd be like, "Psh, that's like grade school to Kool G Rap, you know? Like that's like grade school deep lyricism, you know? Those pictures ain't painted. You want to hear fucking picture painted? I'll throw some shit on for you, you know? So hip hop.
G Rap, you know, was ahead of his time, right? Like he didn't get the attention that he probably should have got, right? In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, well, you know what it was. Kane was a star. Kane had the good looks. Kane had the good hair. Kane had the good visual. Kane had the, you know, he
Yeah.
was just, Kane was a star. And
Right.
Biz was a showman, you know, a performer, you know, like the Juice Crew. But Kool G Rap was just lyrics, lyrics and lyrics and lyrics. So you could put Kool G Rap decade after decade on a record with any rapper, and he was always better than everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. So, but you know, the game isn't always about the best lyricist. It's about a whole nother game. You know, it's you know,
Right.
it's about marketing and you know who's gonna sell to everybody. You know, but that's not always what it's about. You know. But then there's other aspects to MCing because if you really want to go there, like Kane was a better performer than Kool G Rap, though, you know, and Karis One was a better performer. So I've always said Kool G Rap's the GOAT, but there's so many different arguments that could be made for GOATs, you know. So I think lyricist, he's the GOAT, you know. So,
On record.
but there's some stage show like you go back to Grandmaster Caz and Melly Mel,
Yep.
and those guys are untouchables on the stage, you know, and those guys, to a lot of people, are the Mount Rushmores, you know. So it all depends what era, you know. But
And that's funny
but
because you
honestly, Cool G Rap murdered Nas when Nas was in his prime, when it was like fucking Illmatic Nas. G Rap murdered him. Rest in peace, Prodigy and Havoc is my brother for life, and so was P. I love Mobb Deep, but when Kool G Rap hopped on the record with Mob in their prime, Kool G Rap. So he wasn't just the '80s nicest; he was the '90s nicest. And then when like dudes in the 2000s, Saigon was hot. G Rap bodied them. Like G Rap just bodies everybody decade after decade for decades. You know, he's just the GOAT at lyrically being better than everybody, you know? So that's what he does. So,
that's crazy. Yeah, he's definitely. What about Rakim? What do you put Rakim in that era too?
well, Rakim is the influential, could be an influential GOAT because he was doing things that nobody was doing, and it was his performance. Like before Rakim, it was kind of like uh, it was kind of like articulation and strong presence and Cool Mo D and it was, Run DMC and LL Cool J and it's energetic and just murdered a mic. And when Rakim was in the studio with Marley and MC Shan, they kind of were like, this dude doesn't have any, like he needs that, a little. They didn't know that he was doing something next level, because it just seemed like he was like a little unended, but it was just that golden voice. He didn't have to give all the great, like he
Yeah.
didn't have to give all that extra. I came in the door. I said it before, and without Rakim, there would be none of these guys. There is no Jada or Nas or none of them guys. Like the guys that just rap and use their basic voice. That's all Rakim delivery. So.
Yeah. So I've seen you, come a long way with your musical content. Your live shows have changed, have changed a lot from when they used to be. And what's it like now being married with kids after being this crustified Dibs character? I mean, what's this
Well,
like? And you're in Germany. Your family's in Germany. I mean, this is.
Yeah, I still do. I still get grizzly on them, you know? I still get
Yeah.
grizzly on them. I'm still a grimy piece of shit dirtbag. It's obviously it's not, you know, before I had nothing to lose, you know. Now I got to take care of my kids. Before it was like I don't care about not a goddamn thing. So when I went out there, I didn't care if I had a show tomorrow. I didn't care about losing money. I didn't care about getting locked up. I didn't care about nothing. There was no responsibilities. It was me being a mess. And if that's what I felt, that's what I was going to be. You know, now you got kids and you start thinking like, yeah, you just start thinking like, yo, they're babies. You got to set them up for their future. You can't go out right now. You got to live a few more years, you know, maybe, I say maybe when they hit high school, or when they graduate high school, then I could get the fuck out of here, you know. Then I
Is
could go
that
back to shoot me the fuck in the head now. But right now, the babies need me, you know. So,
that's a decent amount of pressure for an artist to handle, right?
well, the world's been doing it since the beginning of humanity, having kids. So, if everybody that ever existed could handle it, I could handle
That's a good
it,
point. That's a good
you
point.
know.
So, like another
Yeah.
thing I noticed that you you go off on Twitter, man. You go off. I mean, it seems like you kind of get sucked in sometimes, and I'm just curious your perspective on that
What
because
do you mean? What do you mean? I go off? I don't. I
you like
kind of think I'm
you
calm
call
on it.
you call people out on this shit basically. You know, if someone says some dumb shit to you or whatever, you're like, fuck off. You know, you send them straight. I used
I
to just
don't.
curious your mentality behind that.
Usually, I thought I don't give them that much attention. If, like, if people say stupid shit, I thought I don't give them the attention. But maybe I don't know. Who the fuck knows what I do? I just tweet. Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like a need to set people straight with all the bullshit going on and floating
Nah,
around and all that
because
shit?
that's the problem is that every day you're gonna have false information about you
Right,
out there. You're gonna have somebody saying something fucked up to you that they would never say to your face. You're gonna have like these digital muscles, tough guys, and I just had that the other day. I did a show and the guy was like, "You're a pussy" in my inbox, and he's like, "You're like," and I was like, "Dude, like you was there last night. Why didn't you say it to my face?" They get these digital muscles the next day after they're not in front of you. It's like so weird. It's just a different era. So you can't really let none of these nerds bother you. Like when you're younger, you're like, oh, how dare you disrespect me? Now you go, the internet. If you go on the internet, you got to expect disrespect, because they can get away with it. So if you let the disrespect really fuck you up and get you heated, then you lose. You now this is the era. If you go on the internet, you have to understand there will be disrespect every day. There'll be false information, people lying about you, saying shit that's not close to true, and you can't go on the internet all day and try to fix every article and every person that says something wrong. Like then you'll have no life. I
right,
used to try when the internet first started. I used to try to correct like this is not true, that is not true, but that's not. It's the era of false information. They're gonna have no matter who you are, whether you're an underground RA type rapper or world leader. There's going to be false information all over, and the people who want to believe that false information, no matter what you say, they're going to believe that false information. So you got to understand that's the time you're in. People are going to say false shit, and people are going to say disrespectful shit. You can't correct everybody and put everybody in your place. There's no time for that. So,
no.
yeah.
Did you get
Maybe
sucked
once in a
in?
while, you could say a little smart ass one to one of them, like, "Hey, dickhead," blah blah blah. But maybe do one or two a week. Yeah,
Maybe those are the one or two I've seen. Did
yeah,
you get sucked? Did you get sucked in with the whole politics and shit? Did you find yourself going off during that
yeah,
era?
but but the whole world, it's like it's a
Yeah,
trap. It's like everything's politicized and nothing's realistic because both sides don't want to see the harm that the other side is doing.
Right.
So each side, and both sides are doing so much horrific shit that if you're on the opposite side, you got all this ammunition to say what's wrong with that side, and anybody that supports that's the devil.
Yeah.
And then the other side got the same amount of shit to go back at you, and you're both, but they won't see what their side is doing, rather than And then when you say both sides are fucked up and disgusting, they go, "Oh, you're helping the bad guy that I don't like get voted in, or this and that," and yeah, it's like, and you're the real problem, the third party voters, and it's like, it's like you can't do right by anybody in this era unless you agree 100% with them, and for who wants to agree 100%? And that's the other thing. Look at the politics. Like, are you really that fucking? Yeah, you can predict if you follow someone, you can predict what their opinion is going to be on every single world issue, because they're on that side and this one's on that side. So when the event happens, you know what they're going to say. And take something so stupid like Joe Biden when he met Putin, right? It was like one side was like, Putin was the strongest, so strong that Putin, I mean, no, Joe Biden looked so strong. Putin was scared to look him in his eyes, and Putin was scared of Joe Biden. Joe Biden's like a fucking corpse. He's like a dead corpse, Like nobody's scared of Joe Biden, a dead corpse. And then the other side was like, oh, he embarrassed America worse than any president in history, and he looked weak. It's like, it's like, you guys, it's just like they believe whatever the fuck they want to do. And then whichever side does whatever action they do, they're going to have a problem with it. And if their guy did the same exact action, they would have been cool with it, So
Right.
it is what it is. None
I
of
always
it's
say
real.
I always say people believe what they want to believe.
That's the truth, too. They believe what they want to believe. So if lies are presented and false information is presented and they want to believe it, they'll believe it. That's what it is, as much as I fucking dislike Trump being the president, I thought he was a buffoon. These people had the fake are in the White House. Russians, they did this Russian fearmonger shit for 4 years straight. Russians got the election. Russians for 4 years straight. And then anybody on the Biden side, if you said, well, hey, there might be some fraudulent, they'll ban you from the computer. No. It's like nobody's real, It's like nobody's real, So.
Yeah. How was the tour you just came off of? What was that like with the whole virus and mask thing? How did
It
it
was
go?
Well, no, it was a lot of red states, so there was no virus and mask. We just
Oh,
rocked the shows, and everybody left us alone. It was the red states. They were like, oh, whatever. It was so weird. It's like you show up in town, you go in a store, nobody's masked up, nobody's talking, nothing, and then you go to California to hang out, and everyone's like, "Where's your mask?" I said, "Oh shit, sorry, I'm in a different state." It's like the whole country's so fucking separated. It's like two different universes.
yeah.
So we just did 42 shows, 17 and then 25. And some of them were blue states too. Like we did Oregon, Portland, Oregon, I think that's a blue state, and Seattle,
Yep.
Washington, blue state. But a lot of the stuff we were doing was like, oh, Colorado's blue, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But a lot of stuff we was doing, we did like 4 shows in Texas, 4 shows in Florida, stuff like that. And it was like just a different world. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think you're getting this in right in time. You're on the gathering of the Juggalos. Is that what's happening too?
Yeah, I just did this Hood Fest in Finland, and that was really dope. It was like, yo, man, the sound system. I don't know I almost want to hit them up. If anybody from Hood Fest is listening, like the sound, like I've played festivals a lot of times, and even if it's a big fancy festival, that doesn't guarantee that the sound system's gonna be off the hook. Like this shit, I just touched the mic, and I was like, and the beat sounded fucking beautiful, and
Wow.
I was like, damn, this is what rich rappers fucking shit sounds like every time they do it. Yeah, I don't have that luxury. I play a little shithole. The fucking speakers sound like pussy farts, and the fucking mic is muffled, and And you know, and yo, I'm an MC. I'm gonna rock through it and make sure the crowd has a great time. But sometimes the shit sounds terrible. But this festival in Finland sounded like amazing. Like I was like, wow, the shit sounded amazing. So
So what's
yeah,
that
so
like? What's like you live in America, but you live in Germany too. What's living in Germany like?
well, right now the whole world's pretty similar. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, quarantine stuff happened, and then like, you know, everybody's panicking and everybody's not panicking. It's just the world's so weird right now. So I don't know what anything's like, you know. I don't think, you know, because a lot of times you're not doing shit right now. You know, the last year and a half been
Yeah.
very strange, very strange. Yep.
How's your German? How do you speak German well or
Well, here's the thing is that's another thing that's very different about the country is I'm a resident. I have two kids here, so I'm a resident in Germany. And you know what they told me at the you know when I was getting my residency, they said, "Listen, your German's not good enough." So they said, "If you don't speak better German in 18 months, we're gonna not renew your residency." Like imagine the United States doing that. Like you don't speak good enough English. If you don't learn English in 18 months, we're throwing you out. Like the
Wow.
Germans literally tell me like if you don't learn German better, we're not going to renew your shit in 18 months. I'm like, but I have kids here. Like, you got to learn the language.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
was like, yo, imagine if they said that in America. Like, yo, my kids are here, but now I learn the language, you're out, you know? Yeah.
so did you learn it good enough or are you still working on it?
Not yet. I have enough trouble trying to learn my lyrics, you know?
We need the RA German rap. We need to hear that, you know.
I did a couple. There's a legendary couple MCs out here. Kool Savas, he's a legendary German rapper, and Sammy Deluxe, the legendary German rapper. Two of the most legendary German rappers of all time. And we did a record together. And I'm spitting German on that. And I did one with the Snow Goons, spit some German on that. It's not but the mother of my kids helped me write the one with Kool Savas. Not, you know, I wrote the rhymes, but she helped me with the words and to help me with the German and the Snow Goons one. I think I was sitting with the Snow Goons. They helped me out a little bit with the rhyme, you know. So
So
not ghost writing, but just help me with
yeah.
the language, you know, because it's
Yeah.
in German. Yeah.
A lot of people speak English in Germany too, though, right? Europe's a lot funny like that, right?
Yeah, Germany has a lot of people speaking English. You know, sometimes you get these like you know old school Germans that don't want to speak it, but most everybody speaks it here. You know, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
what's next, man? What's the on the agenda moving forward?
Well, I want to do a East Coast and a West Coast run. You know, because I did mainly the mixed states and I mean the middle states. You know, but
Yep.
California keeps saying, "Hey, when you doing California? When you doing California?" So I want to do Cali. I want to do New York. I want to do all of that stuff. I want to do Boston, obviously. I want to do the whole East and West Coast. And then I'd like to do, since COVID, I haven't done a European run. I'm doing a short one in September of, I think, Scotland and Jazz Cafe. And I think they're already sold out. Don't mark my words if they're not, because I don't want to have people not buying the tickets. But yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure they are. So I got, and then I got, I don't know. I got a handful. I think I got like 5 or 6 European dates in September and October, but not a tour yet. I want to do like a whole run. Then when Australia opens up, I want to do Australia. Just when shit opens up and lets me, I want to tour off this album. I made this album for touring,
Yeah.
and then the world closed. You know. So
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Well, thank you for giving us that album during tough times, man. That was a great album, like I said before.
Yeah, well, it was a strange time, you know. And then even when it was dropping, everyone was like, do you think it's an okay time to drop the album because everybody's life is in shambles and maybe you shouldn't drop the album and you should postpone it. I'm like, what are we going to postpone it till then? You know, we don't know what's going on. And I'm
Right.
glad I didn't postpone it because shit was still locked down 6 months later. Like everything was crazy. Like, what was I going to just keep postponing the fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
and people heard my songs, you know, in studios and shit, and like they were putting out music before me. So it was like, you know, I'm tired of people hearing my shit and then doing shit and dropping it and look like I came out with it last, you know. So
Yeah. That posse cut you got on there, you got everybody, all the great MCs on it. I can't even list them all off because I don't have the list in front of me. How hard was that to get everybody on one track? I mean, that must have been like herding cats, you know, at some point, you know, like this
well,
is
well, well, you know what's harder is getting the video shot, you know, because
yeah.
I got like 70% of them, and now I need two of the groups and one MC. And one of the MC, I'm surprised. It's like my close friend, he hasn't recorded his yet, and so I'm trying to get the Slayers Club video done. It's just been a little complicated, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But this,
When you got a track like that, that's a lot of moving parts.
yeah, for what he's talking about is a song called Slayers Club,
Yeah.
and
Who's
it's
on that?
Ari the Rugged Man featuring Vinny Paz and Chris Rivers and Chino XL and Onyx and MOP and Ice T and Brand Nubian. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think track's a problem
Yeah.
if you're a fan
Yeah,
of
I'm
that
proud of
era,
that
man.
one.
What's your
I
proudest one on
got
the
some,
record?
well, I love the one I did about my daughter. It's called Firstborn, and we just dropped a video for it. And I don't know, my channel's fucked up. I got to start a new YouTube channel because they kind of block my shit now. It's like,
What'd you do
I
this
think I
time?
can, nah, I think it's an accumulation of stuff, but like, they kind of don't let my shit be seen the way it should on my direct channel. But then when I put shit on other people's channels, it always does way better. It's like, so this video didn't get seen on my channel too good, and it's like one of my favorites. So it's called Firstborn, and it's featuring Novel, and I want the world to see it, you know. So yeah.
You know, the one that got me was the closer, the last
Oh,
song on the album.
Afterlife, Afterlife.
That shit is powerful, man. I must have listened to that first time I heard it over and over, nonstop. And I
There's
don't
a
usually do
whole,
that with tracks. I don't usually do that with tracks, but if it hits me like that, that one did. That's powerful, Joe.
yeah,
Talk about the inspiration
yeah.
of making that one. I'm curious where your head was at making that.
Well, it's a long story. There was a fan named Sarah Smith, and
Yeah.
her mother died, and she sang on Facebook to her mother that song, you know, about heaven. And
Mm.
then, and she was just a fan, and her brother Greg Smith, they'd come out to the shows, and then Sarah wanted to get in the studio. She'd call me and say, "Hey, I sing." I said, "Yeah, yeah, when you're in New York, you know, see what you do in the studio." And they were just cool, you know. And then like she'd post on her Facebook like this was the greatest day of my life, and it'd be like her at my concert, and I'd be like, oh, they were just like a sweet family. And then like I don't know, I just when her mother died, she called me crying and this and that. So you know, it wasn't like a super tight friendship, but it was a connection, you know. And then the brother calls me and tells me Sarah died. You know, she was young, beautiful girl. And so then he posted a clip of her singing, and it was like the clip of her singing to her mom who died after she died. So it was like that was the sample. So we took that and flipped it, and I thought she wrote it, but then it turned out to be a song that was already out on YouTube. And those singers, their brother booked me for shows before, like so they cleared it. They knew who I was. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a Christian group or something. I had no idea what it was, but no, they were like some Canadian singers. So the song came together, and you know, I just started thinking about loss and the world and the afterlife and meeting our loved ones after we're gone, and you know, or is there anything after we're gone? Does anything exist after this? And you know, and it came out really strong, and people really got mostly attached to it, and a lot of people on tour hug me and
Yeah.
cry to me when they you know like they talk about that song. A lot of people cry about it to me, you know. So we touched some good chords on people. I don't know what I'm trying, you know. We touched some good whatever, you know. So yeah.
Well, thank you for making that one, man. That's a good one. If you haven't heard that, go check that one out.
It's
Afterlife,
called
R.A.
The
the Rugged Man.
Afterlife, featuring Sarah Smith and Kelly Waters. Yeah.
That's what's up. All right. I'll let you go, man. I really want to thank you. And yeah, the show is pretty much sold out in New Hampshire, from what I'm gathering from the promoter. If you're lucky
So
to get a
so
ticket, go get a
New
ticket.
Hampshire, New Hampshire. Yeah, it's basically sold out. So whenever they say that, they got a little fucking stash of. So go hit them up and try to get the last ones.
Yeah.
Also, I think we're doing a meet and greet now too. So if you just bought a regular ticket, step up the meet and greet. And anybody that ever did a meet and greet with me tell you that I'm an entertainer. I take pictures. I hang out with them. We tell stories. It's not like just me shaking your hand and spitting at you, So
Yeah. You get
yeah.
the full effect.
Yo, I'm reading some of the comments now. Somebody said, I don't even know what they're talking about. They're like, yo, Vinny and RA versus. We should do Vinny versus RA in a versus. Yeah.
And the picture will be that funny thing on the internet where they use the Home Alone burglars. You see that one?
Yeah. Little Nas X is trash. Why is that a comment in here?
Comments are ridiculous. You really bring the best
Like,
out of everybody, brother.
I don't even know. Yeah.
That's so
Somebody said,
funny.
"What's your earphones?" Yeah, my phone is broken, uh, so I have to use an earphone to hear. All right, guys. Yeah, so New Hampshire, and also Friday, I'm at the gathering
Yeah.
of the Juggalos. That's another thing, yo. Whenever I announce that I'm doing anything with the fucking clowns, people automatically say, "Oh, Ari's doing it for the money." Ari's like, "Yo, I had my whole career to do shit for the money. It
Right.
has nothing to do with that." Like, I literally, and I know the OG hip hop fit, not even the OG. It's more like the hip hop nerds. They get so mad when I don't talk bad about the clowns, but uh, I love ICP concerts now. I'm a big fan. I did a tour with them, and they were some of the most ridiculously
Yeah.
entertaining, insane showmen. I have a great time with them, and I became real cool with Violent J. Like, we talk, like life shit. We talk about. So I actually love the motherfuckers. I love them. So when people, oh, it's for the money, that makes you feel good. But that's not reality. Like, the reality is I love the motherfuckers. So yeah.
You
All
can be
right,
an
man.
RA. You can be an RA fan and an ICP fan. It's okay.
Or you could be
Everyone.
an RA fan and accept that RA loves the motherfuckers.